All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Amateur Radio Roundtable. This show is about ham radio. We're on YouTube, the video show on YouTube, but you may be out there listening on international shortwave on world-famous station WBCQ up in Monticello, Maine on 7490. And we welcome you to the show. Thanks for joining us. Just remember, every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Central Time, you can join us live, video and chat by going to w5kub.com. Just a couple things real quick, if you will. I really need everybody to help me out there. If you will, hit that subscribe button right there. It really helps us out. YouTube uses that little subscribe button, and what it does, it helps them bring more and more people to our channel and be aware of our channel when they're surfing around and looking at other ham radio or radio-related things. They see that little picture of us over there, and they click on it, and they find the show. And believe it or not, that brings about 30% of our viewers every week to us. Also, so hit that subscribe button. Please hit the notify button, because sometimes we come on during the week and with some special things there. So please do that. Hit the like button if you like the show. We want to invite you to join our Facebook group. We have a great Facebook group with over 12,000 ham radio operators and shortwave listeners, and it follows the show. But you can just type in simply W5KUB, and W5KUB in the search on Facebook will find us, and we'll approve you and get you right in here. Hey, I want to say something special tonight. We have a very special person in the chat room tonight, and all of you, or many of you, may know him. That's James Lee, WX4 TV. James has really... Most of you guys know the story. I'm not going to get into the detail, but James has been very, very, very ill, and a lot of medical procedures. I think James is he's been in the hospital for, I think, about 3 months now. I think he's ready to move out, maybe into a center that can give him some rehabilitation, if I've got that right. So we wishing James a fast recovery, James, and we've missed you, and we're so glad that you're feeling good enough to be in the chat room with us tonight. So everybody, welcome James Lee, WX4 TV, with us tonight. He is back with us, and it's been a long, hard ordeal for him, but he's still with us. And James, we think about you all the time. Hang in there, and we're glad to see you back with us there. All right, let's see what else we got going here real quick. Boy, hey, for you guys following our balloon just woke up. It just woke up over China, and we're still flying. So we just woke up over China. If I can find it here, there we go. And in about 14 hours, we will be over South Korea. In about 14 hours, we're moving right along, and we've really hit some slow wind over China.
It's heading right for Wuhan.
What was that?
Heading right for Wuhan.
Oh, Wuhan? Yeah, Wuhan.
It's about it'll be over Wuhan. I hope the code doesn't get up to 41,000 feet.
I tell you what, I had pictures of the crew wearing masks. I should have had them loaded up tonight. We've gone near Wuhan before, but like you say, yeah, I see it there on the map here. Looks like we're heading pretty close to it, so hopefully they're not venting a lot of that stuff up in the air. But anyway, hey, we should be over the water there and getting close to South Korea, maybe in about 14, 15 hours, I'm hoping here. Hey, let's go over real quick, and we'll talk about this later here. And let's go back over and see who's on here remotely with us. I just heard Bill. Hey, Bill, how you doing tonight? Come on back in here, Bill. And Bill,
I'm doing fine. Just watching your balloon go around the world.
There you go. Okay. All right. Well, you know, It's been really slow the last 3 days. We were stuck in China, man. It was just not doing much. And although it looks like it's going to hit some wind, the last part of China there is going to hit some wind, 60, 70 miles an hour, hopefully. And then I'm showing a straight shot to the U.S. And Bill, the jet streams are running 150, 160 miles an hour on Ventusky. So we might make up some time. You're
picking up some speed for sure, but it was a slow go.
Yeah, it was a slow go there. Well, look, hey, what internet are you on tonight? You look better.
This slow.
Uh-oh.
CenturyLink DSL.
Okay, I shouldn't.
You spoke too soon.
I shouldn't have said anything. Okay. All right. Well, hey, you're doing fair tonight. We're glad.
I'll switch over to.
That's all right. We're glad to have you.
I'll switch over to the.
We're glad to have you. Glad to have you in there. Let's go over to. Let's go over in here. Let's pick up Glenn. Come on in here, Glenn. Talk to us.
Hey, good evening, Tom, and shout out to James there back in the chat rooms. Good to see you back with us. And I get to do my little thing. If you all flipped your calendar to the first of the month, this is the month that one of the two demon children is the calendar girl. You get to see Godzilla, and all her glory is this month's cat for the ARRL's Cats and Shacks calendar.
Is that right? Okay, you have a celebrity there. Okay, well, I don't have the calendar, but I'll see if I can find it somewhere and check it out there. All right. Well, hey, I saw Glenn this weekend. We'll talk a little about that in a little while. Glenn and I both went down to the April Fool Hamfest, and it's kind of a neat little Hamfest down in Mississippi, and we were down here this weekend. Well, Glenn, this is the first week. Let me see if I can get me on here too. This is the first week show that we haven't announced a major severe storm fixing to hit in the next 24 hours. You know, the last 3 or 4 weeks, man, it has been right on schedule. I don't know how those storms do that.
Well, we had thunderstorms this morning.
Yeah.
But, I had to drive to work in that, but it mostly had passed by the time I got on the road.
Well, yeah, and we had a little bit here too. Hey, I got to run my generator again the second time.
It's supposed to be here tomorrow, so if that's any consolation. Tomorrow we're supposed to get stuff here in Huntsville.
Well, yeah, I don't think it's going to be too bad because we didn't get much of anything here. So maybe this will be one of the weeks that that we don't have a lot going on weather-wise. But hey, I have run the generator twice now. We ran it 7 hours during that, what was that ice storm, and then we run it another 3.5 the other night. The light, gas, and water. I saw them in my backyard, and Glenn, and they were looking. The way my subdivision is fed, there's a switch down at the very end of the street, and then that feed comes down behind my house and makes a turn about a quarter mile from here. It goes down another street and it turns back and it makes like a U shape. And we're all the time losing power out here. And he was in my backyard to see if there was a tree limb on it. And he was checking all the backyards because usually he says that's what takes us out. And down at the end is usually where it is. Nearly every time it goes out, he says 7 out of 10, it's down in that area. We have a lot of trees. And, the people across the street from me, most of the time, they keep electricity. It's just the people on my side that go out. And I said, well, what's the difference? He says, they don't have any trees over there. And and what happens is the trees, a couple weeks ago, not a limb fell, but an entire 100-foot tree fell. You can cut the limbs back all you want and get them away from the power lines. But then when you have a 100-foot one fall over on them, you just almost can't anticipate that, I guess.
Now, we had a little bit of fallout from the dead limbs out of the trees, yesterday and this morning, but not a whole lot. Power hasn't gone out here at all. You know, Mississippi Power must be a little bit more reliable than that Memphis stuff y'all get.
Yeah, yeah.
You buy the cheap power.
Do we get cheap power here? Well, I hope we get cheap gas now, because the generator could, you know. Hey, I looked up the generator, and you know, so what's the average cost to run it? And I looked up on their site, and they said it cost anywhere from, I don't know, seems like $5. Let's see. Oh, this. It says something like $5 to $250 a day, and I'm thinking, what?
Yeah, and that's in pre-2022 dollars.
Yeah, but you know what? But I looked up our gas charge here is about half the national average. Yeah. It's pretty low.
The gas the natural gas charges are very low for this area.
Yeah.
And actually, regular gasoline is too, because we have the refinery right here on the river.
Yeah, well, that's true.
And so gas prices aren't horribly bad, you know, as they could be. Definitely not $6 and $7 a gallon stuff.
Well, I figure that it's going to probably run me about $2 an hour to run the generator, which to me that's acceptable. If I have to run 24 hours, you know, that's $48. That's okay.
Yeah, but think of the food in the refrigerator you'll save.
Yeah, well, you know,
that stuff's getting expensive.
Hey, if it's wintertime, I'll just set it outside.
Well, that's true.
You know, but hey, now I don't even have to do. I can be lazy now. I don't have to go outside.
Yeah, don't have to do anything.
Don't have to do anything. In fact, we were running on a generator this last time. I didn't even know we were on a generator until it sent us an email and told us we were on a generator. Wow, man. All right. Well, hey, we'll talk in a few minutes about April Fool Hamfest, and we'll have a. You're going to have to help me describe some of the stuff I'm seeing. I know.
Sure.
I know, you know, most of the stuff here, but there's things I don't know. You probably will know what they are. You know.
Oh yeah.
Hey, next week, Riley Hollingsworth's going to be with us. You know, Riley is the retired special counsel to the FCC, and he was responsible for the enforcement of amateur radio for many years. And of course, Riley, you know, retired from there. But Riley, I think now I guess he's still the director of the new ARRL program, the Volunteer Monitors. So Riley will be with us next week, and we'll probably talk about what's going on there with the Volunteer Monitoring Service and so forth. So that should be interesting there. Well, let's. I'm gonna pull up the April Fool Hamfest. It was a small Hamfest, guys. It's about a 10-minute video, so hopefully you won't be too bored. It was a neat little Hamfest, and just watch the video and comment in the chat room if you want to, and see if you can name some of the equipment. So what I did, I walked down all the tables and tried to do a little close-up of some of the stuff there, and. I'll comment on some of it. Glenn will comment on some of it. We're going to see Glenn's table first. Now he has a
pile of eclectic junk.
Yeah, I don't know what you call it. A smorgasbord of equipment on his table. So let me pull that up, and we're gonna go to Corinth, Mississippi, and we're gonna check out this Hamfest. Here we go.
And this was at Crossroads Arena, which they also do a lot of other events. They had a equestrian event there earlier in the week, and they still had the main floor covered in dirt.
Oh man, yeah.
We were supposed to be down on the main floor.
Let me tell you, that dirt was over a foot thick, man. They piled it.
At certain points it was like 5 feet.
Oh,
thick.
really? They piled it in there. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, guys. Hey, we are at the April Fool Hamfest.
They need to find homes.
Hi.
Here we are. Yeah, you got to have a laser printer. Everybody needs a laser printer in their shack. As if Tuesday wasn't enough, you're going to do this on a Saturday.
Yeah, here. Talk to us.
Talk to us. Hey,
We're about 20 minutes, 30 minutes away from me doing an Arduino forum over here, and we're going to have all sorts of fun. As you can see, I am cleaning out my house with junk. We have printers, we have mesh networking, we have a micro BitX, we got a coffee maker for those of you that need to stay up for those late night contests. We got a 2.4 gig antenna. We got, that's a waterproof mesh networking box. We've got dishes. We got everything. IP phones.
All right. Well, hey, good luck in selling all this stuff.
Well, it's going slowly.
All right, I'm gonna walk around and be right back.
Oh yeah.
So this is in the arena. How you doing, Harold? You want to say something, Harold? Here, hold that. Take that mic here. Tell us about it, man.
Yeah. Welcome to the W5 AWP Air Carriers Club Hamfest here in Corinth, Mississippi. We've it's our 5th iteration and trying to get bigger and better every year. And always gracious to have KUB to broadcast us. And best thing is just when you get through looking at all the good stuff that we have here in the crowd. And I won't tie up the air if we start looking at what Mr. Tom has got for you.
All right, man. Thank you so much, man. We'll see you a little later. Uh-huh.
Yeah, it may have been small, but
Nice
they did have a
facility
lot
here.
of good stuff there.
This is the front door and where you get your tickets. Hey, how you doing?
The man can't give you prize here.
A lot of stuff here today. A lot of accessories, SWR meters, batteries.
Yeah, they had a lot of older
Dummy
rigs.
loads.
A lot of really good-looking older
Nice
rigs.
dummy load right there. Well, there was a number of modern rigs out there too. I saw,
Yeah, they did. They had a 991A, in
Yeah, I
fact.
saw that. Mm-hmm. Hey, Tom. Hey, how you doing, man? Hey.
There's a DX60 from Heathkit
Hello.
there.
Hi. I don't know about this receiver.
Oh, I
here.
love that
That's an
old receiver, I guess, isn't it?
Yeah, that was a Hammerlin, if I'm not
Was it?
mistaken.
Yeah. That's cool, man. I'd have loved to play with it.
Probably not. I don't have room for it.
They tried to get me to take it, but
I don't have room for it.
My shack is too full.
How you doing?
No, I'm trying to clean house. There's a pair of Yaesu FT101s, the original ones.
Well, you can see what I can get on the screen plus book courts on here.
I like that speaker. Hey.
Yeah.
I'll go ask. Where was it? Ghostbusters. Yeah.
L4B amplifier right there.
Yeah, pair of 3500Zs on top.
How you doing? Good. How you doing? Doing good. Got some Drake equipment.
Seems like you always see Drake gear at a Hamfest.
Yeah.
Don't need them anymore.
That's pretty good gear too.
Yeah, oh yeah.
45, okay. What about this one? This one may be.
Beautiful receiver there. That may even be a transmitter too. I don't know.
Yeah, that was an old Hallicrafters rig. I don't
Yeah.
remember the model number.
Working fine.
They make one of those that has both transmitter and receiver.
A lot of good hardware.
Hey guys.
Hey, well.
He had a lot of good older computer gear. There's the dirt we were talking about.
Yeah.
a lot of 11 meter gear there, and that I've been seeing that at several Hamfests here recently. A lot of 11 meter gear showing up.
I know it's terrible juice. It is what it is.
There's your 991A.
Yeah.
There were several of those there.
Yeah.
There's your blower, air
Guy had a lot of good old stereo hi-fi type gear as well. Pile of videotapes and DVDs.
There's some Swan equipment.
Yeah.
I saw a few cantenas there.
Yeah, there's a couple of cantenas hanging around. That was a Heath 2036 2-meter rig. I built one of those from a kit many, many moons ago.
Well, back then there wasn't too much to select from on 2 meters.
No, it was one of the first synthesized rigs that was affordable.
Yep.
No problem. Like I said, I didn't know. You didn't? Well, I just had a truck last year.
Nice spools of copper wire there.
There's an old signal generator. You're on there. Say hi, kid. All right. All right. Here you go. Take our card there. You can watch this on the internet Tuesday night. Give it to your parents. Tell them you'll be on TV Tuesday night.
There you go.
All right. Well, how far does your stuff go? All the way
This
down?
whole table, all four
All the
tables.
way down. Man, you got a lot of stuff here.
We do. We've got a lot of stuff that you won't find most places. For example,
A lot of power
when's the last time you
supplies.
saw a brand new CB radio power cord?
Been a few years.
Or
Yeah, the mic connectors.
mic connectors. These
Those
kinda
are hard
cool.
to
Those are
find.
old, patrol car Motorola radio
Yeah.
boxes.
Yeah, yeah,
And those are the best sounding speakers because
yeah.
they're
yeah.
designed for voice reproduction.
Well, they got
Oh,
a
yeah,
big
those
magnet
were
on
those.
that speaker. You got a pretty good sized speaker in there too.
Oh, yeah.
I've got some of those.
Yep. Power supplies. Shortwave receivers are really staging a comeback, I think, largely because of the war in the Ukraine.
Yeah,
People are hearing that they can hear stuff on shortwave you can't get over broadcast media. So these are becoming very popular again.
yeah. Well, this is my kind of stuff here. I grew up shortwave listening back in the '60s when I got my license, and I love the old shortwave receivers here.
This is one of the cleaner drakes you'll ever see. It's a 2B.
I had
And-
one of those.
Let me put your mic down for a second.
Okay, all right.
'Cause this
I
is
don't
something
remember
you won't
ever
see very
seeing a
often.
2B.
It's still loaded with complete original Sylvania green print tubes.
Yeah. Well,
Wow.
that's good.
Very clean. Let's see. Pallet crafters, which is just a standard,
Oh yeah.
when it comes to this stuff. A couple of 3 kilowatt tuners.
They just
This
went
is
by
kinda
my
cool. It's an ICOM
helicopters.
735.
Oh, did
they?
If you want to
First radio.
about these,
Oh, wow.
if I can find it.
That little receiver on a couple radios to the left.
Don't have my glasses on.
That's an ICOM 735.
You'll know
Equalizer.
that that's special. That little
Man,
smoked
you don't
plastic
ever
cover's
find
missing on
those with
all
the
of
plastic cover.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what he's saying.
This
That
one
cover
actually has it. It comes
is
with the matching
typically
power
missing.
supply.
Yeah.
Amphenol connectors, tube testers, which are absolutely worthless unless you want to test a tube.
That's right.
And it's the only thing that's going to do it.
Well, I
Yep.
got rid of a tube tester years ago, I grew up with tubes, you know?
Right.
Yeah,
This is Sylvania. This one's a Jackson.
yeah.
This
Yeah,
is
those
sort
were
of
those were a
make an
little on the
offer
pricey side, though.
Oh, yeah.
area.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
even know about that.
Make an
Motor
offer.
control. This is not in any catalog anywhere. This is
That's a neat little
Roundtable,
transmitter. That's the kind of stuff I would build back in the
CW
60s.
transmitter.
Got a sweep tube in it and plug-in coil.
And
That's kinda
plug
cool.
your crystal in right there. Of
That's cool.
course, you know you're going to be on one frequency and there's no reception, but that's
Yeah.
what the receiver's for.
Oh, man, I like it.
Well, you can make an offer and it can be yours.
Oh, man. I've got stuff like this in the attic. But that's the kind of stuff I like to build, you know.
Well, it would be in good company.
Yeah, it would be. All right, man, thanks.
Thank you, Tom.
Uh-huh.
Always good to see you, my friend.
Good to see you.
Yeah, there's some more of the older rigs. Like I say, there's a whole bunch of really nice looking ones there.
There's the 811 amp. That's got 3 tubes in it, I think.
that's
That
the
one
3
does.
tube version.
The 811H has 4 tubes in it.
Yeah, it may have been a small Hamfest, but they had quality stuff there.
Yeah.
Very tempting.
You going to your forum, Glenn? You going to your forum? Where's it going to be?
Back at the back over there.
Okay.
All the way across the side of the dirt.
All right. Well, you know, that was interesting. Again, it was a small Hamfest, but you know, we got to meet a lot of people, talk to a lot of people.
Well, you got to get out of the house and you know,
Yeah.
go somewhere. And you
Yeah.
got to meet other hams again. You know, nobody had to wear masks and stuff. It was pretty good.
Yeah, we enjoyed getting out. In fact, that's what I told Kathy.
And
Go ahead.
I did my usual. If I'm going to win a prize, it's going to be an ARRL gift certificate.
Did you win something?
$25 ARRL gift certificate.
Wow. Well, hey, you know, I bought $15 worth of tickets. I think 15 got me 15 tickets, if I'm not mistaken.
That's correct.
Yeah. And I heard very few. Well, I was only there a few hours. I didn't hear many people. Did they ever call my name for anything?
They did not call your name.
Oh,
and
man.
they gave out some pretty nice stuff.
Did they?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I was counting on the main prize. What was the main? The main prize was $500 cash or something.
And ICOM 7100.
Okay. So I'd have probably taken the radio myself.
Yeah,
Man.
the guy that won it did take the radio.
Yeah, and you know, I mean, I don't know why I got too many radios, but I would have probably
Yeah.
taken a radio. But you know, oh man.
But it was
Oh,
a
well.
fun little ham fest, and you know, nice one day for me. It ran for 2 days, but you know, I only went for the one. And now this weekend we've got the Memphis Free Fest coming up, which is going to be a lot of fun as well. Everything there, all the proceeds benefit Le Bonheur Children's Hospital here in Memphis.
Yeah, in fact, I've already bought a bunch of tickets for that one. Rick Tillman came by the other day, and he was out selling tickets, so he came by, and I bought a big stack of tickets, and we stamped them, and he took them, and I hope he puts them in the barrel, you know. But
I paid him not to.
yeah. Well, hey, it's a good Hamfest now. That Hamfest, the Free Fest,
Yeah.
I would guess it's probably, compared to this one we just showed, what do you think? It's probably twice as large, maybe 3 times?
Oh, I'd say 3 times as large. I
three
mean, they
times?
have every table filled in it.
Yeah, it's about 3 times as large.
And they a much larger crowd. I mean, it's like salmon swimming upstream when they first opened the doors. And Bill, there was a guy there this weekend that had a whole stack of 73 magazines on a table.
I've got a whole stack too. I could bring to a table.
Well, hey, I need to get me some of those to look at. I mean, just this past month, I had thrown out probably several hundred QSTs and CQ magazines. I keep them. I just keep them, but there's just starting to be too many. So I looked through them again, and any little article or a project I want to build, I'll save that one or tear it out. And then I finally just got rid of all the magazines. But
I've got every 73 magazine from the beginning to the end.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I found 73 online. There's a large majority of them online, and I've started looking at some of them. It's a pretty good magazine. And
there's a magazine you probably never heard of that 73 put out, and it was called Radio Fun, and it was a tabloid, and it was for beginning amateur radio operators. And since I didn't have enough to do being the editor of 73 magazine, Wayne Green had me also produce this magazine. Mm-hmm. So we produced several years of it, and there was a lot of good quality articles in it. But I don't see too many of them. There are a few scanned in online, but I have the entire collection of that too, and that's pretty rare.
Yeah.
I'll have to get one for you.
Well, I've started scanning the articles that interest me, and of course using the online archive, and then I donate my magazines to a gentleman in the club that, he just loves every one I can get my hands on for him. So, but I find mine a good home.
But if you look online for Radio Fun magazine, there are some that have been scanned in on the archives. I know every issue of 73 has been scanned in on the archives.
Yeah, I have those.
That
Slowly going through them.
Takes a lot less room up in your house.
Yeah.
That way.
I use them and put them on my tablet, so that when I have something to read during lunch, I just pop one of those up on the tablet and go back in time and enjoy the day.
Well, I'm going to dig into some more of them. I looked for a lot of the older projects. I mean, they're fun to build,
Yes.
And there's a really cool magazine that CQ put out, CQ VHF.
Yeah.
I believe it was at least 10 years worth, and I wrote a column in there for 7 years of that. And they had a lot of great articles in there, but it was pretty much dedicated to the VHF and a lot of beginner articles, but it really had a lot of good construction articles in it too. So if you find those online, and maybe we can talk to Rich and see if got a CD of them, because that was really a dandy series of magazines that they put out. Mm-hmm. I hated to see it go, but really a wonderful magazine.
Yeah. All right. Hey, everybody, stand by, and we'll be back in just a minute with you. Don't go away. Now is the time to spice up your ham shack with ICOM's new ID52A handheld. This radio is perfect for staying in or venturing out. The ID52A is now shipping. ICOM's newest handheld amateur radio is a VHF-UHF dual bander with D-Star and FM dual mode functions. This radio supports conventional FM communications and D-Star simplex and worldwide calls over the D-Star Internet Gateway. The ID52A is the first handheld amateur radio with a full-color 2.3-inch waterfall display and the ability to send photos over D-Star with a connected Android phone. Features include a wideband receiver with guaranteed range of 144 through 148 and 440 through 450 megahertz. It has an integrated GPS receiver, including grid square location. It also has a micro USB for data transfer, programming, and charging, and it's IPX7 waterproof. Visit www.icomamerica.com/amateur for more information on ICOM radios.
LDG Electronics provides state-of-the-art antenna tuners for every amateur need. From QRP to QRO, fixed stations, portable and remote, an LDG tuner will match your radio to your antenna using our lightning-fast, proprietary tuning algorithms. LDG is a family-owned and operated company dedicated to bringing innovative, quality products to the amateur market. All LDG products carry a full 2-year warranty that is fully transferable. Support is only a phone call or email away. We're always here to help you. Visit us on the web at ldgelectronics.com.
All right, we're back, and let me ask everybody again, for all the new people that have just joined us, if there are any new people who have joined us, let me see if anybody has joined us. Yeah, we got a few in here, a few extra. Hey, here's what I want you to do, everybody. Here's what I need everybody to do. I want everybody, I even drew you an arrow right there so you'll know what to do. Please hit the subscribe button. That button really helps us advertise our show on YouTube, and it helps bring in more and more people. As I mentioned earlier, about 30% of our viewers each night come in because they find us from our little thumbnail over on the side there of a show that is similar to what they've been searching for. So it's kind of neat. And so hit that, and hit the bell there, the notification bell. It'll let you know when we come on live, and we do come on live during the week sometimes with something special. We need to do more of those and have fun. You know, we can bring a show up live and like some afternoon, and quite a few people actually, I guess, are subscribed, and they'll come in the chat room, and we'll just have a good time there doing something.
This is an issue of 73 magazine from 1962, which is the second year that it was in publication, second or third. And it's got some great articles in it. It was kind of thin back then, but it's just chock full of construction articles. Most of them are tube-based, but there's even a story about a Vidicon tube. You remember what a Vidicon tube is?
Oh, yeah.
And then I published this magazine for, along with Henry Rue, and over the course of 30 years, and it was all about amateur television. So I have every copy of this ever published too, 30 years worth. So I don't have a lot of room in the house. It's all filled up with magazines.
All right. Well,
between 73 and CQVHF and Amateur Television Quarterly, I've got a big pile of magazines.
All right. Well, hey, let's spend just a couple minutes here and give everybody an update on what's going on with W5KUB 110. And let me bring it up here. We launched 110. Actually, if you go to our website, if you hadn't been following the balloon, if you go to our website, you can go to w5kub.com, and it'll bring this page up. Click on balloon up there in the menu. Click on balloon, and that'll bring our tracking page up. And it gives you some information here, but this tells us right here, if we scroll down, that we've been flying 8 days, 10 hours, 26 minutes, and 18 seconds. Or something like that. And it gives you a couple ways to easily track it here, either with APRS or a HabHub. And we even got a HabHub map embedded here that shows shows right where the balloon is right now, and it is getting toward the east coast there of China. There's a video there of our launch of 110, or of our launch, and it was really windy that day. You come on down a little bit, you can see a description of what we're doing and what the equipment is and kind of how it works. And then if you scroll on down, you can see the previous launch of 108 we launched. It stayed up 22 days actually, and we hit a storm I think off the coast of Mexico. But you can see the track there and the launch. Again, more information, and there's pictures then if you're interested in the pictures of detail of kind of what we're doing out there. You can see a picture of the tracker there weighing on the scales. The tracker and all the solar cells and even the antenna comes in at about 7.8 grams total. There's a picture of the tracker, and I always like to show people this picture here on the left here. That's a sewing needle, a highly magnified sewing needle, and that is either a resistor or a capacitor there at the end of the needle, which is 0402 size, which is really, really small. And, as I've mentioned before, the only way I can put this thing together is under a microscope. Let's take a look at the track.
You can do it.
Well, yeah. Let's take a look at the track real quick. Let's go to HabHub right here, and we'll look at HabHub. We're over China, and like Bill said, boy, we're getting close to Wuhan. There's Wuhan right there. You can see my mouse circling Wuhan. And hopefully the ants got the message to put their mask on because we want them to be safe there. On HabHub here, we can turn the prediction model on. So I'm going to click and turn the prediction model on, and you'll see the prediction pop up. So here we go. All right, there's our prediction model. Right there, you can see we're right in the middle of it there, and it takes us over. Looks like it's going to take us over South Korea. Let me turn it on and off there so you can see it. So we're going to go over the bottom end of South Korea and across quite a bit of Japan. And if we click on, let's see, I'm going to click on near the balloon here and see how many hours that is.
They'll be over the Pacific before you know it, man.
Yeah, that balloon is setting on that track. That balloon's setting at about 15 hours. So I'm going to click on Japan, and it says we'll be there in 28 hours. 28 hours minus 15. So, well, that's not very much, man.
No, a little over a day.
That's only 13 hours, isn't it?
Yep.
That's 13 hours, and we'll.
Hey, Tom.
Yeah.
There's a new call sign for your balloon mission in the chat room.
A new call sign? Let's see. COVID 110? Yes. C0 VID 110. That would be a good one there. Yeah. I think that's a real call, though. CO, isn't it? Well, wait. Maybe not a C0. I think CO is Cuba, isn't it?
Cuba.
Yeah, so that would be, if that was C0, I don't know if there's a C0 out there. We might can use that, Bill. We'll have to check into that. Yeah.
Let's take a look here.
Yeah, see if there's a C0. I'm sure there's a C out there.
I'm not seeing a C0.
I think, isn't Charlie down in a CT or something? I forget what Charlie is.
He's CX.
Yeah.
Charlie's CX.
So in 13 hours, we should be out over Japan here. Let's see. Let's look at let's look right here at Korea. At Korea, that says 23 hours minus the 15. Man, we're gonna be in 8 hours. We'll be in Korea just about before we go to sleep tonight, because this thing just woke up about an hour ago. We might make it to Korea right about the time it goes to sleep, guys. And that's real special to me. As all of you know, in the military, I spent a year in Korea, in South Korea, not North Korea. But, it's going to be kind of neat there. I mean, I can remember being there, and I can see the sky, and I would have never imagined 50 years later I would be flying a little 32-inch balloon over my head up here. I never really thought that would even been possible, but it is it's so cool there. Now, Hey, if we go over North Korea, Bill's got the software set up. We got geofencing in there, and we've got the UK and Yemen and North Korea geofence. So we have a little box around those countries, and if we go over that country, we go radio silent. We slip across them radio silent, and then after we get out of their airspace, we'll come back on. So I know we got a guy that follows the show. He's over in Korea right now, and it's coming your way. Stay tuned there. So let's see. So the prediction there, the prediction model that you're looking at, that's from NOAA. And it's just like the hurricane model. Each of those dots is a different model, and you can see most of those models actually are pretty much sticking together there and saying the same thing. Now, hey,
we have a student here at the University of Alabama, Huntsville, KN4TPG is his call sign, Todd, and he had an internship with NOAA based on the balloon flights he did here from UAH.
Yeah.
And they used these balloons, and they used some of your balloon data as well to improve their model.
To help their model. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Hey, let's look at something here real quick. This ought to be interesting. On our website here, I've got two different weather sites that you can click on. Let's click on Ventusky here. And let's just take a look and see what Ventusky says we're going to be doing here. Now, Ventusky here is, you can see here's China right here. I've got the map in China, and I'm going to set, we're at about 40,000 feet. So Ventusky won't let me set exactly 49, but I'm going to set Ventusky at 12,000 meters. What is that? About 39,000 feet, I guess, somewhere in there. So, and let's see, I need to get on wind. So I'm on temperature. Let's see if I can figure out how to get wind speed. Okay, here we go. Here we go, guys. I want you to look at this. Right now, we are right about, hey, what did APRS tell us our speed was a while ago? Hey, our speed, it says our speed is 85 miles per hour right now, 85. So let's go back to our jet stream and look at it. So 85, and we know our latitude and longitude. We know where we are. We're somewhere right along in here where my mouse is. You can see my mouse, and it says we're doing what 85? Well, look, the speed of the wind right there is showing 84, 87 miles an hour. So that's about where we are. And if we come on across, if you follow the mouse there, we're getting up before we get to the east coast there. The wind speeds is up to 110 miles an hour. We get out in the ocean here. Look at this, 150 miles per hour. We cross Japan. The wind speed there is 160. 160. We get on out here. We're in the 150s. And let's see. Let me just zoom out a little bit. There's the U.S. over there. Here's China here. So we got a pretty straight shot over there. It's showing 140 miles an hour. It's showing over 100 miles an hour, up in the 120s, 130s, all the way to the west coast there. So that's pretty interesting to try to follow that. What did it say? Click on a map to push pin the latitude and longitude. Okay, Bruce, I'm not sure I know how to even do that right now. So that's where we are, and this is the little 32-inch balloon that we lucked up on and found. Everybody's been looking for this thing for years, and it's doing amazing. I'll just say amazing is the word. To me, this balloon flies for me as well as an SBS balloon that we would spend a lot more money for. So
this is two in a row that you've gotten, nice decent flights out of them. Yeah, typically the smaller the Chinese balloons are going to fly in the
20,000 range. I mean, this one is up into 41 or 42,000. That's right up there with the SPS altitude. So we're real happy with it.
Hey, Tom, I have one. I have one here. It kind of looks like a rocket when it's not expanded. But it's a sphere, but before it breaks out into a full sphere, it looks like a rocket.
Oh, okay.
I haven't inflated. It's inflated to get ready for a flight, and so I've got the exact lift I need for.
Now, is that the clear one? Is that clear or is that silver?
That's a silver sphere one, just like you're flying.
Yeah, yeah.
But I haven't expanded it. I'm going to try one that isn't expanded to launch and make sure that it works.
Well, Bill, I in reading this, it has to, they suggest you inflate it at a high enough pressure that it pulls those four gores apart. It stretches it out because they're kind of ironed down. I guess when they stamp it, I don't know. Anyway,
well, I'm going to see what happens when somebody who just buys one of these out of the store.
Yeah.
Inflates it to enough to take off and without completely expanding it and then getting the air out of it.
That'll be a good that'll be a good test because will it fill out and stretch and everything? We don't know that too much about this balloon.
Right, because the flights you did, you pre-inflated them.
Yeah, I did. The first one I inflated it and it took pressure. You saw the video where it sounded like it was tearing apart. In fact, it looked like Jiffy Pop. It looked like the aluminum foil popping. It was popping and coming apart, and growing. That's how it looked. And they say you need to do that in like 70% humidity and warm. Now, of course, up there, it's not warm up there, so I think it's probably good practice for us to try to.
It's going to be a good test to see if it can handle, colder temperatures when it finally fully inflates. So we'll see how it does.
Yeah.
And I also am testing a 10-meter Whisper for a balloon flight. I put one of my sky trackers on 10 meters, and I have it on the air the last couple of days, and 10 meters is opening up now pretty much on a daily basis. And it's going to be I flew one a year ago, but it was ground wave. The band wasn't open. But this time I think with the bands increasing, and particularly 10 meter and 15 meters, it'll be a good test. Today I got reception as far as the West Coast and the Canary Islands on using 20 milliwatts on 10-meter Whisper.
And I've been looking at and thinking about the same thing, maybe 10 meters, whatever. And you think, okay, we're always trying to hold our weight down on these flights. That's the better flights are going to be less weight. So I'm thinking, okay, if I can go from a 20-meter antenna to a 10-meter antenna, that antenna is only half the size. Instead of 34 feet of wire, I've only got 17 feet now on 10 meters. But here's the deal. My entire 20-meter antenna only weighs 1.4 grams. So if I cut the weight in half, I only cut off about a half a gram or a little over. I mean, is it really worth it? Now, if 10 is really hot and working well, then yeah, sure. Maybe we ought to do it.
Now it is, it's easier to launch, particularly if one person. But the big advantage that people may not realize is that technician class licensees can operate 10 meters Whisper.
That's right. Yeah.
So that's the real key here for somebody with a technician class. They can do a Whisper balloon or just operate Whisper in general on the 10-meter band.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Hey, I want to mention one thing while James Lee is still with us in here tonight. Guys, if you followed our show for several months now, we launched a zero pressure balloon. We call it the Moab. It was the mother of all balloons. when we were trying to build a balloon to get higher altitude. But the problem is the material is just not really available to build these balloons that will contain the gas and not stretch. So we built this big balloon, and it got almost as large as the inside of my garage. It was 10 feet tall, and it was about 18 feet long. Big old balloon. But as I was putting air in it, just testing it for pressure, the pressure would never go up. And that was because the plastic kept stretching. It just kept getting bigger and bigger, and I was pumping more and more air in it, and the pressure would never go up. So that balloon was worthless for us. It would have gone up and at maybe a very high altitude, like a weather balloon, and would have burst and it would have come down. So we decided to fly it at zero pressure. And what zero pressure is, you leave the bottom open. We had a piece of PVC pipe in the bottom, and it was a 3/4 inch PVC pipe. You know, Bill, I was going to use something smaller, and Bob, I was going to use something with a small hole, and Bob says you probably need a bigger hole than that at the bottom. So we used a 3/4 inch and put it in there, and we filled that thing up, and we launched it one night, and of course, you know, it had weight on the bottom, so the hole's in the bottom, all the hydrogen's in the top. So it's going to expand and it's going to fill up, but it won't stretch the balloon out because the pressure will go out the bottom, out the hole in the bottom. Anyway, back to my story about James here, WX4 TV. James was coming back somewhere from up on the East Coast, driving through, I think it was in North Carolina, South Carolina. I don't remember where it landed now. Georgia, maybe. I don't know where it was. Anyway, it was near where James was driving through, and we knew with our APRS on it, we knew about right where it was. In fact, I think we had a battery on this one, and it was actually transmitting on the ground. And James was nice enough to go off-road in his car and into the area where he met some people with all, you know, like ATVs, and I think they took James around looking for it, and we actually found it. But we didn't recover it because it was hanging over the tree, and to get there, there was like snakes and alligators that we would have to kind of go through. So we just left the balloon there, and you know, it's amazing, Bill, that thing hadn't started transmitting again, you know, in the sun. I mean,
I wonder if that's still up in the tree there.
It probably is. It probably is. We know where it is, and that was an interesting. Now that went all the way, you know, through night. We don't know what altitude we got because it stopped transmitting above about 25 or 30,000 feet just because of the temperature. But we expect it got pretty high. I'm guessing it probably did 70,000, 80,000 feet. And it went all the way the next day. It was down near the coast of South Carolina, Georgia, somewhere down here. I don't know. But that's the only one we've done zero pressure. You know, we did another high altitude balloon that we launched and we recovered. And that was an exciting adventure, but everything went perfect. And I'm afraid to try another one because it won't be that perfect the next time. And we were actually there waiting on the balloon to come down in Mississippi. We knew right where it was going to come down. Hey, it's about 9 o'clock. Let me just make an announcement here real quick. Just because our show was too long for some people, we're saying Amateur Radio Roundtable basically is kind of over with right now. Only after an hour, but what we're going to do now, we're going to go into a new show. It's called After the Show. It's still Amateur Radio Roundtable, but it's After the Show, and it's kind of a free-form show. And we're going to invite everybody or anybody who wants to join us via Zoom can join us and come in here, and you'll be part of the show. You'll be on the video, and we'll talk about anything you want to, ham radio or whatever. And so I'm going to post that link here. Again, if you're listening out there on WBCQ shortwave on 7490, we really love to have you send us an email to Tom at w5kub.com, Tom at w5kub.com. Tell us where you are and how you're hearing the station tonight. And join us on Tuesdays. And as I mentioned to everybody else earlier, hit that subscribe button. We need you to hit our subscribe button. It's going to help us out a whole lot there. So here is the link for the Zoom. Just click on this link and you will be on the show. I can see to paste it. Well, I must not got it. Hang on 1 second. Interesting.
We have no link.
Do you have a
We
link?
don't exist.
Did somebody put the link in?
No, we have no link.
Well,
We're busy talking about the old Radio Shack color computer. My word, I haven't seen or heard about those in years.
all right. It's going to take me just a second to get the link again. Obviously, I cut it. I cut it instead of copied. I must have cut it instead. I must have deleted it somehow. Okay, copy. Here we go. Here's the link.
Glenn, my Coco, I have it. It's been operating since 1985.
Oh, where?
And it's still working. I have one that I customized with floppy disk drives.
Oh, good grief.
They had an expansion chassis that you plugged in the side, and they had a little controllers that you plug in and cartridges for video games. And I have a number of those. And then I found one that actually was a floppy disk controller, and Radio Shack actually sold floppy disk drives for the Coco instead of a tape machine, which most people use.
Yeah.
And that made it a good computer. And I still use it. It's still working. Not many computers that you can talk about that are still working since 1985.
Oh, that's quite impressive.
And I turn it on, and it's ready to go. Boom. No updates, nothing. Just ready.
That's phenomenal.
When you turn it off, it goes off.
Yeah.
It doesn't say, please wait, do not turn off your computer while we update. It doesn't do that.
Well, all right, we've got Charlie out there, KX6BT down in Uruguay. He's joined us again tonight, and I saw our friend Tim there a minute ago. I don't see him. Maybe he's still in there. Yeah, Tim's in there. WB8HRO ham radio outlet. He needs to charge him money to advertise their store with his call letter, but that may be against the rules. I don't know. Maybe. All right. Well, Charlie, how you doing tonight, man? Where are you, Charlie?
Oh, hello.
You don't have you don't have a camera again tonight.
No camera. Yeah, that's
okay. We'll excuse you this time.
Okay.
Yeah.
How are you, everybody?
Good to have you in there, man. You're starting to be a regular. I count on you being here every Tuesday, even though it gets very late in Uruguay.
Yeah, it's already 11 here. So.
Now, do you have to get up early in the morning to go to work?
No, not very early. It's early for me, but I'll get 7:45 something.
Okay. Well, that's not too bad. You should be able to make it in, you know. Are you working much from home, Charlie, or are they doing that in Uruguay now, or is everybody back at the office?
Yeah, I had no problem. We had little problem here with the having to stay at home. In fact, I could go mostly everywhere during the whole pandemic thing. So, but yes, many, of course, schools, mostly schools did everything via Zoom. And was really good because, well, it happened everywhere, right? It was really good because the technology that was just starting became mainstream. So now it's used like, for example, the other day there was there are 3 or 4 kids in the same class that had the COVID thing, so they decided to take the classes online and had no problem, right? Because it's just everybody knows how to do. So that was good, but we didn't have like those very restrictive close downs. I could get out my house every day and no problem. So it was really good. No problem.
Well, that's good.
Just right now, just today or yesterday, it was determined that the pandemic here in Uruguay is over. So no more restrictions for the amount of people you can get into one place and for using the how do you call the thing you put on your mouth?
Mask.
The mask. Sorry.
Yeah.
So that was decided yesterday. Of course, together with that, there are some benefits that get people that had to have their jobs like terminated because of COVID. There were some bonuses for some benefits for them, and they are going away too. So some people is happy, and not everybody is happy with that. But everybody knew that someday this was to end. So we had here a really good vaccination program, really good for a country that had to buy all vaccines from abroad. It was really good. So everybody is it's guaranteed to have vaccinations for free. I've already taken my 4th vaccine, so it's really
Well, it appears that the COVID is pretty much over here. Everything here in this part of the country where I am is pretty much back to normal. Going about normal everyday business, everything. Masks are not even required now at really anywhere. Maybe some doctor's offices are still requiring it, but it's getting back pretty much normal. Now, are people still getting this variant? Yes. I guess some people are, but it doesn't appear to be any worse than getting sick with the flu or something. And
yeah, but I'm not an expert, but as I understand, that's thanks to the vaccinations. Vaccination program.
Yeah,
so in countries that, of course, in US and in Europe, and in wealthy countries, you have access to the vaccines, and everybody gets the vaccines. At least everybody wants to, but the majority of people can get a vaccination. But the problem goes to countries where there is no means for that. Right?
Yeah.
So I think that although COVID is all around us, we are not getting really sick because thanks to the vaccines, right?
Well, I see Papa Doc, WA4YYM, is in the chat room. He used to always get on hang out with us after the show. Now, I think he's afraid to get on there with us now because, all of us old timers were always talking medical issues with him, after the show, and I guess he probably got tired of that. But Doc, you need to come on, man. We need to talk a little about this COVID because, man, I'm hearing all kinds of mixed stuff. Now, I believe in the shots. I believe in them. I took the 2 shots. I took the booster. I believe in them. But I'm hearing so much different stuff coming out now that I'm not sure how well it really works. Now, I don't know. I need a doctor on here tonight to help us.
I don't think they know.
I don't know, man. Did I get a placebo shot? Was it just a saline solution, or did I get
to make you feel good?
Did I get the real shot?
You
because
can't ignore him. You've got James here in the chat room, man. Stop talking.
Yeah.
James
I see.
in here.
Yeah. Hey, James, how you doing, man? Good to have you.
You're muted, James.
Your mic is muted, James.
There we go. It wouldn't let me unmute. Hey, everybody. Good to see everybody and be back here. Sitting in the hospital in Daytona Beach. I've been in the hospital. I don't know who's been following the saga, but this all started almost 4 months ago, Tom, you can see my hands here. They're probably going to amputate some of my fingers.
Wow.
That I had some minor repair to my mitral valve that was going to take about 3 hours, and I was supposed to drive home myself 4 days later, and it turned into a 2-day operation, over 24 hours long at 2 different hospitals, with I think they said over 100 units of blood transfused into me, on a heart-lung machine called an ECMO machine for 2 months, in a coma for a month, two and a half, I think. And then they amputated my feet back in February, and they're still waiting to see what they're going to do with my fingers. As time goes, I'll show you here. I don't know if you can. The blackness used to come this far down.
Oh, that's good.
You can see stuff that's alive in my thumb was totally black. And
yeah,
it works. And my other thumb and my pinky finger and the other finger are all pretty much cleared off. So there's some miracles happening here.
Yeah, James, it looks like they're starting to heal. It looks like that's a good sign.
Yeah, they're starting to heal. I think we're gonna be, I'll get out of the hospital here on what did they say? Probably this Friday. Not exactly sure where I'm going to go. Can't go home yet because I don't have the prosthetics and I'm not walking yet. And we're going to have to basically rip our house apart and put new doors in because the doors I guess they were built to code when the house was built.
Yeah,
They're not built to code now. The front door is only 33 inches wide, and you can't get a wheelchair through that. So I'm taking it day by day, and Michelle and the girls have done just an incredible job of keeping the Shack in the Box business going. So I'm thankful for that, but I'm really thankful just to be sitting here on a Tuesday night watching Tom Medlin's show on my iPad, because I've wanted to, by this time most nights I'm long asleep. So I'm happy to be here.
Well, I'll tell you, James, you're looking really good. I mean, I have followed you since the surgery, and I followed you in the pictures and everything Michelle had to say, and it was some tough times, but you're looking good. Your face is looking good. You look like you got color back in you, man, and you're talking good. You're thinking good. So, hey, hang in there. Do what they say and get your house modified. Get back to a life where you can go home and, hey, get back on ham radio and start doing regular things again.
Hey, let me tell you something cool. I just found out today. Hope did the CQ Worldwide single sideband contest from the hammock in the backyard QRP. She came in first in the world.
Is that right? Oh,
yeah,
wow,
that was pretty cool.
Oh, that's cool.
That's good.
I think that's the thing that may have been 17th in the world. I don't know. One of them was the youth overlay. She didn't do as well with the youth overlay as she did just with QRP.
Yeah.
But they're still having fun with ham radio. I'm hoping, but anybody pray that I can make it to Dayton. Michelle and the kids will be there. We've got a booth. We've got an outstanding booth at Dayton that's right inside the big doors of the first building. And I'm hoping I can be there to see everybody. And, it's just a matter of, will I have a wheelchair by then? I definitely don't think I'll be walking in the next 6 weeks.
Well, we'll definitely see you. We'll be up there too in the building next to you there. We'll get over and see you. Hey, let me just Don asked in the chat room, what do we want to know? Don, I was just kidding with you, Don. Don's a doctor, Papa Doc here. I think he's retired now, so I think he retired from being a doctor, so he may not be able to really answer our questions, since he's retired. But Doc, I was just playing with you there, man. We miss you. Doc used to always light up a big cigar in a car and come on hang out with us after the show every Tuesday night. I don't know if he still does that or not. So, Doc, I guess my question, Doc, is: are you smoking a big cigar right now out in the car? And he'll answer there in a minute in the chat room. James, you're doing good. I think you're looking good. Hang in there, man. Everybody's been praying for you and concerned about you, and it's going to get back okay.
I
know
appreciate
it is.
it, Tom.
Yeah.
I'm a lot better than I was, man. I'm a lot better. And if you've got time after you're done with the show, I'd like to give you a call and talk to you about something that we're thinking about doing with your show. So,
okay.
You got time tonight?
It's going to be it'll be 11 o'clock your time. Be kind of late here. Could we do it tomorrow? Will you have any free time tomorrow?
Yeah, I'll call you tomorrow. I'll
just call me tomorrow
on Facebook. Which phone number I'm calling from, so you'll recognize it.
Okay, yeah.
It's good to see everybody and see the chat room. And I can tell you, when you die 3 or 4 times, like I said, I did, and I think I had over 20 surgeries. It's good to be alive and to see your friends. So I really appreciate you having a show here tonight, being able to see people and participate.
Yeah, well, you're looking good, man. Thanks a lot. Hey, thanks for joining us tonight. I was real happy to see you.
Thank you, Tom.
Yeah, let's see who else. Bill. Hey, we got a Bill. Bill join us. Bill, how do you pronounce your name, Bill? Bohenberg?
Yeah, Bonenberger. Yeah.
Bonenberg. I see 3 dots at the end. It must be more to it.
Yeah, that's it. Bill Bonenberger.
Okay, Bonenberger. Okay. Your name is so long it won't even fit on. It won't fit on Zoom. Where are you, Bill?
Right after it.
Where are you?
I'm from White Plains, New York.
Okay. Have you been on here with us before? I recognize the name, I think.
Yeah, I've been on before plenty of times.
Yeah, I thought so. Well, how's things going up in New York?
Doing pretty good.
Well, that's
a little tour of my shack here, the way it is. It's a kind of mess right now.
Well, let's just see what we got there. Okay. 10:19, is that? Yep, you're on the right time for sure.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah.
And then my microphone farm, I can't have an antenna farm, so I have a microphone.
Oh, yeah, you got plenty of spare microphones there in case one goes out. Yeah, that's cool. All right. Well, Bill, this is the first time, this week is the first time in about a month that we hadn't had major severe weather come through here, which we send up to you each week. Yeah, so it should be, you should have a good week this week.
Not really. This week we have rain coming, about 2 inches of rain, they're saying, between Thursday and Friday.
Yeah.
Which is going to delay the Yankees opener.
We had a little rain and thunder this morning, but it was really nothing. But it might hit on up that way. But hopefully things are getting better. Springtime's here, and we need to get out there and work on our antennas or something. Get out of the house. All right. Do we have anybody else that joined us that slipped in? Let's see. Let's see who that is. Here we got Anthony joining us. And all right, we got Anthony down in Texas joining us. We hadn't had a net in a long time. I need to try to get our net going again. It was just pretty tough for me. It was pretty tough for me.
Tom?
Yeah.
It's Anthony, KG5JPU. Good evening. I'm sorry I missed the podcast this evening. I have to go watch it.
Oh, that's okay. All right. Good to see you, Anthony. I see Don answered me. Doc, WA4YYM answered me. He says no. I had to think back. What was my question? I almost forgot the question, but the question was, Doc, are you smoking that cigar in your car? Now, Now, see, if Doc was on here in video with us, he'd tell us why. I mean, maybe his wife don't let him smoke in the car anymore. I don't know. Maybe, he realized that smoking might not be too good for him. I don't know. But, Doc, Doc, we've really missed you. I'm glad now you're retired and you can stay up later, Doc, so maybe you can start joining us here. Well, Anthony, you've been doing any operating down there? Now, Anthony's got a unique situation. His antenna, if I remember correctly, Anthony's antenna is a offset off center fed antenna on top of a fence. And Anthony, you always had a fairly good signal when we had the net. You would check in every Tuesday. That antenna work out pretty good for you?
Oh, it's on my 8-foot high portion, and it goes down all the way around my yard, down to the 6-foot height portion of the fence. So I'm basically operating below a quarter wave, and I'm operating between anywhere from 80 down to 6. And yes, it's working well. I was actually talking to Australia the other evening. No, I'm sorry, South Africa.
Yeah.
And I was talking to, let's see, I was talking to Stan, KE5EE. I think he lives near Pensacola, Florida. He has a humongous antenna farm.
I don't know him. Are you barking? Are you barking at me?
You can see all the pictures that he has with all his antennas that he has on his antenna farm, on his property. With all his towers and so forth.
Is that you barking, Anthony?
Yeah, that's my dog. I'm going to let him out.
Okay.
Get on the radio or on the phone or even on the computer. I don't want to.
All right. Well, you may have to if he
Godzilla had a new meow.
Yeah, what was that, Bill?
I thought maybe Godzilla or Rodan had a different meow.
Yeah.
No, Rodan's right here, and I've got headphones on, so she didn't hear it.
All right. Well,
hey, I got a comment for Doc YYM. I wanted to thank him for recovering dozens and dozens of our balloons that the university we would send up carrying amateur radio trackers and television transmitters of the works, and we would launch 5 a semester, and Don would be over there in Cleveland, Tennessee to catch them. And so we had quite a system there. We'd launch them from Huntsville, and Don would go out there and grab them. And he was very good at. He was our go-to guy for recovery, balloon recovery. Many years he was doing that. So thanks, Don, for. And also he shares a name with one of my coworkers, and so whenever I speak the name of my friend at work, I usually get Doc. So we've been chatting a few times when I call the wrong person, but they have the exact same name, and so I decided to solve that problem by putting the middle initial of my coworker, which is an E, and that is also Doc's middle name.
Oh, no. Oh,
they're exactly.
Well, we several years ago, we started calling Doc Papa Doc. Now, I think that's what his grandkids call him, Papa Doc, but that can be confusing because the dictator of Haiti is also called Papa Doc. So.
He used to be.
Yeah, I don't keep up with him anymore, but so I don't know if that's a good name for Doc or not, but we know him as Papa Doc there, and
Hey, Tom and Bill, I got a question to ask you.
Yeah.
Within the last 2 weeks or so, I was watching a deal on regarding Whisper on YouTube regarding how to use it on the WSJTX whatever program
that
I'm using, and I came across they were talking about this web page. You can actually go use and monitor. It's called whispernet.org. Is that correct? You guys use it at all?
Yeah, that's on our tracking page.
Yeah.
That's on our tracking page. If you go to w5kub.com, go to balloons. So we've got a link on WhisperNet that you can click. It brings up the balloon tracking. Well, it brings up the Whisper tracking, and you can even see a map. But it only position the balloon within a 4-digit grid square, which is probably a couple 100 miles square. But we then take that information and add additional data to it, and then we transmit it up to, or send it up to APRS, where we give you a much more accurate position report. We get it down to a 6-digit grid square, which gets you down to about a 3 mile square, something like that. And Bill has even got the code in our tracker that runs JT9. If you can copy JT9, you'll see the tracker sends out, what is it, Bill, a 10-digit grid square, and that takes you down to about 50. That takes
50 feet or so. It's a 10-digit grid square, and basically the JT9 is also decodable by WSJT-X. So you can, when Tom's balloon is flying and you're within the range of it, tune in JT9 and you can copy the transmissions from his balloon directly.
Hey, and you know what? That gets us down to accuracy of about 50 feet. And if you followed our balloon a few balloons ago, we actually lost one in Georgia. Was it Georgia? Yeah. And we pulled the map up, and we hit the satellite button on the map, and the map using the JT9 10-digit grid square showed us that the tracker was on top of a school roof. We knew right where it was. We contacted the school. They went up on a roof and got it and returned it. In fact, we reflew it as 108 last time. Hey, we have a special guest on here, Papa Doc. I think Papa Doc joined us, man. Hey, Papa Doc, come on in here, man. Come on in, Papa Doc. Yeah, unmute your mic. Unmute it. I see you're out in the car. I think you're trying to slip.
Oh, there we go.
I think he's trying to slip a cigar now. I don't know. I see him out in the car, and he got a big smile on his face.
Hey, Bill.
All right. Why did he change why don't the picture change when Doc talks?
I don't know.
There he is. There he is. Hey, Doc. I see you out in the car, man. Did you give up the cigars, Doc?
No, the wife threw him out for the night.
No.
I've got my cigars.
There he is. There it is right there. I knew it. My granddad. Hey, my granddad didn't smoke cigars, but he would chew a cigar. I remember that when I was growing up. Man.
Are you enjoying retirement, Don?
It's weird. I haven't set my alarm clock one time since the day I retired, so that's a good thing. But
hey, I love it, man. Hey.
Done something for 51 years. It's different.
Well, Doc, I've been retired now going on 9 years, man, and I love it. I wouldn't go back for nothing, man. It's like, when you're a little kid, you don't have a job, you just do play. Well, when you get old and you retire, you're like a little kid again,
Well, I've got a lot of projects, but I miss practicing.
Yeah.
Just my patience.
Well, now will we see you down in Huntsville? Will you come down again this year?
I didn't make it. I was going to go down there, but the COVID was so bad and everything. I just decided to pass. I watched.
Oh man, I wish I'd talked to you before that, because I went down there. I was there.
Yeah.
Gee, if you would.
I had fully intended on going, but there was so much of it at that time. I just.
Oh wow.
I'm not going to take any chances. I'm the same age. At the same age as you are, and
man,
I'm just not going to risk my life over something like that in the crowd.
You're almost 90 now, man. Hey, well, we went, and
Y'all are making me feel like a teenager.
We went. Yeah, you're a little young in there, man. You're young. In, well, no, Doc,
so.
are you coming? Are you coming this year, Doc? Will we see you there this year?
Well, if there's not a big outbreak, I'll be there. I'm going to Dayton though.
Okay, well, we'll see
good.
you. We'll see you there at Dayton.
Look forward to seeing you at Dayton.
Yeah, we'll see you there.
Don, we're got a balloon sat forum on Friday from 11:55 to 105, I think, in the afternoon. It's forum room 3, and Tom's going to be one of the speakers talking about his balloon adventures, and we're going to launch a balloon right afterwards. So, see if you can make that balloon forum on Friday.
Yeah, I used to always go to the APERS and stick my head and see you, but unfortunately, I won't be seeing Bob this year. So, Bob Berninka.
Yep.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, I was signing books with him at the last Dayton event.
What a nice guy.
Yeah, he was. Really was.
Tom, is Doug Blaylock going to be attending Huntsville and Dayton this year?
What was your question?
Is Doug Blaylock going to be attending Huntsville?
No,
or Dayton this
you
year?
know, Doug has been with us about 8 out of the last 9 trips we made it, but I'm not in Dayton this year. We're going to have our booth there. We're going to have our booth. Actually, we're only going to have 1 booth instead of 2. They kind of cut us back this year. We are not going to webcast live from Dayton this year. What has happened over the last 20 years of webcasting, I'm so busy that I don't even have time to get lunch on those days. And so many people are coming by to visit, and we usually have Doug Wheelock with us, and we got so much stuff going on. It's very hectic. I don't even get out to be able to look around at things. My shopping at Dayton is like the show has closed, everybody's packing up, and I'll run real fast down the aisles and I'll buy 25 cents of heat shrink tubing. That's kind of my the thing that has always happened to me the last few years. We've been going up there 38 years now, but we've been webcasting it almost 20. So I'm not going to webcast live this year. We will take some video. We will go. I'm going to walk around outside, inside, visit, but it's going to be very informal. And we'll take some video, and we'll do it on a Tuesday night show here. So we won't be giving out any prizes.
You deserve to see the show too.
What was that?
I said you deserve to see the show too.
Well, yeah, Doc, and I mean, hey, like you were hinting a minute ago, I don't know how many more years I can do this, man. So, yeah, I want to enjoy the show, get out and walk around, and we will have our booth inside. We're in building 2. We'll have our banner up right there, and we'll be able to put us.
Tom, how many years have you been doing video at Dayton? When did you first start?
Well, it's right at 19 years, and of course that's when we had the helmet cam, and the internet was really bad back then.
I remember the helmet cam.
If we could get 56K, that was really fast back then, and the quality was not good back then, and it's really evolved over the years, and I think we kind of were on the cutting edge of the IP video. I mean, we were streaming our drive in our vehicle, 10-hour drive. Years before any of the weather channels or anybody got their cameras out to chase storms. So we had a lot of fun doing it. A lot of people followed us, and it went from really bad quality. It just kept getting better and better and better.
I remember following you on the first few years you did that drive on a video. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, and the thing about that, it's funny. And we had a chat room going while we're driving. There's so much going on. It's even dangerous. I mean, you got the radio blaring out and people calling you, and you got the GPS honking at you, and you got the chat room going, and we're trying to stream, and you're in traffic. And anyway, and the show has there's about a 30-second delay after you watch it for a long time, and we'd have people, we'd be driving down the road and it'd say, hey, you're driving by my house right now, or we'd be looking for an exit and they'd say, okay, your exit's coming up. It's the next exit. Well, we done passed that exit 30 seconds ago. We've done gone down 3 exits. So, oh man, it was, we had a lot of fun doing it. And, one of the most fun, can you say most fun that we had?
You did.
Most fun, what was it, funded? Most funny?
Funnest.
One year come back from Dayton, boy, and I'm gonna repeat the story, but probably many of you heard it. We got stopped speeding. I mean, we were kind of, my friends were in a truck in front of us, so we were behind them, and just north of Nashville coming back, and they pulled us over 89 and a 70, and I thought, well, they're gonna take us to jail for sure, man. My buddy up there got through okay. So anyway, so they pulled us over, and when they pulled us over, they sat behind my car for like 5 minutes. They didn't get out, They just sat back there and stared. And, Glenn, my car back then, when you go to Dayton, you feel every inch of space up in your car.
Oh, gosh,
every inch, man. So there was 2 of us up there, but, I mean, the trunk was packed. There wasn't an inch in it. The back seat's full. And the thing is, we had GPSs, we had 2-way radios, we had computers going in the car, we had hubs and switches, we had modems, we had routers, we had Wi-Fi, just Ethernet cables everywhere.
You had the wrong color car. You got to do that in a black vehicle.
Yeah, well, yeah. So anyway, she walks up to the window there and says, "You know why I'm stopping you?" And I kind of know why, but she almost got run over. A truck almost hit her. And I just given her my license, and she threw the license back at me, and she says, "I'll be back." And she said it very stern, like, "I'll be back." So she takes off after this guy, and we're sitting here 30 minutes, but they know who I am because they sit behind me for 5 or 10 minutes. My buddy needed to, he needed to, say take a leak on here. I guess no FCC. A bio break. He needed a bio break. And, on the interstate, you got the hill there, and you got all the pine trees up there, and he wanted to go up there in the pine trees and do a bio break. That's what it was. And I said, "No, man, you can't do it. You can't do it." I said, "If they come back and they see you coming out of the woods, they're going to think we done hid something up there, and they're going to tear this car apart. You can't do it." Well, she never came back. So it was really funny. There was a sign right in front of our car that says, dial whatever that thing is,
R41 or something
411 or something for Tennessee Highway Patrol, whatever. It was right in front of the car, so we dial it, and I say to him, I said, we were stopped for speeding. We want to do the right thing, and I said, I think she said that she would be back, but I'm not sure. Well, that's not really how she said it. She said, "I'll be back." Anyway, I said, "We're just checking, and they said, we'll call her on the radio." And I said, "Now, don't make her mad." And he said, "Oh, we won't make her mad. We won't make her mad." So they called her, and she told them to tell us that we could go. So, whew, man, that was a close one right there, man. We could go. So, hey, the year after that, I tried to contact her. I called the phone number. I left messages. I emailed them. I was wanting to meet up with her on our way back to Dayton the next year on video and get an escort, maybe a mile or so through town or something right there. I thought that'd be so cool because when we got stopped, everybody in the chat room was taking up a collection to bail us out. They really were. And a lot of people were wondering what's going on, but they never answered me. They didn't answer my email. They didn't answer the phone. So I did not get to do that.
Well, I'm avoiding that 10-hour drive this year. I would have had to drive by myself. And so this year I'm flying, but the problem there is there's only about 15 pounds left over in my suitcase before I have to, pay a chunk of change to get more space. So hopefully they're going to have UPS or FedEx or somebody there to do on-site shipping with what I plan to buy.
Well, Glenn, I will have my pickup truck there.
Ooh, there you go.
See? And for a reasonable amount, I can probably ship that stuff back for you. Now,
let you use the rig on every third
now
weekend.
we
There'll be a
think
10% discount over
right.
what the airline would charge you.
On even numbered years, right?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. And, now, we may leave. We're going to come up Wednesday. We're going to go up Wednesday, and we'll kind of set up Thursday. We'll put our banner and stuff up. There's stuff going on Thursday. There's a lot of people setting up there. So
Oh yeah.
we'll be there Thursday. We'll be there Friday and Saturday. We may drive home Sunday morning instead of waiting till 3 o'clock in the afternoon and trying to drive 10 hours.
Yeah. Now I'm flying up Thursday and flying home Sunday morning. I got to work.
Yeah,
I'm not retired like you guys.
I'll tell you a story. I was driving to Dayton one year, and I told a friend in Nashville I would meet him on the repeater that he was managing up in Nashville. It's one of the big repeaters up there, and if we had time, we'd get together and have supper. And so I called him about an hour out of Nashville. I developed an oil leak, and I had to pull it into a repair shop, and it took hours. And so I told him I wasn't going to be able to make it. So I went through Nashville about midnight, and I was supposed to be there about 6 in the evening. And so as I was driving through, I keyed up the repeater just to see if he happened to still be up. And the voice ID of the repeater said, WB8ELK, please check your oil. Anytime somebody keyed up the repeater, that message, and it was up there for days. It was there when I came back from Dayton.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
That's another way of calling you a dipstick.
Ooh, ouch.
That's good.
Hey, let me talk in the chat room about some of the interesting stories. Let me you talk about streaming. I got another little short story here. A friend of mine from New York flew down here, rode up to Dayton with us. He back here, and then of course he flew out of Memphis. But he helped us a lot of times with the webcast. So we webcast our drive up, we drive our webcast back, and so after 10 hours, man, I'm tired. I'm getting home. We're getting here, and he says, "Let's go by Corky's. I want to see Corky's." Now, Corky's is the barbecue place. And I'm thinking, man, I don't want to go by Corky's. I just drove 515 miles. No, I want to go by Corky's. So we were streaming. Okay, so we went in Corky's, and we took the stream inside Corky's. We took the camera in, and we took the laptop in, and of course that's where I sent the astronaut barbecue from. And so for people that don't know what I'm talking about, let me just preface the story here. My friend astronaut Doug Wheelock, I talked to him like 38 times 1 month when he was in the space station, and on the last discussion I had with him, I told him I was going to FedEx him some Memphis barbecue. And we did, in Houston, and he ate it down here as soon as he landed. So anyway, so we're drive back to Memphis, and we go into Corky's, and we probably look real strange, couple of hams, probably hats, wrinkled clothes. Been driving all day. Probably took a shower yesterday. Looked tired, and John's wanting to walk around in Corky's where the barbecue place is, and we're webcasting, and security comes up to us. What are you guys doing? Well, we're webcasting right now. We send barbecue to an astronaut that was in the space station, and we got it from Corky's. And the more story we told, the deeper we got in trouble, because he didn't believe none of this. So we're streaming, and then finally we decided we just got to get out of there. So we do get out, and we go out in the parking lot and start to get in the car. And a guy from Australia was watching, and he called Corky's and ordered some barbecue sauce. And the manager ran out there and introduced herself and thanked us and asked us all about what we're doing. And she said, I just got a call from a guy in Australia. He ordered some barbecue sauce. So that's kind of the story. And I'm sticking to it.
Tom?
Yeah.
I know before I got on, you were starting to talk about, am I correct for saying you're thinking about doing the 40-meter net again on Tuesdays? Is that correct?
I don't know. I don't really have time to do it, Anthony. Well, I wish we could do some nets. Leading up to the show, I'm pretty busy, and I don't know, maybe we could do it on a different day. That might work. I thought the 40-meter net might help to get the word out, a little about, our ham radio show and activities, and people might join us, but I don't know. I think Ray on here, Ray, what's Ray's called? W5. Ray, what's your call? W5YY. Man, I forgot Ray's call. He's not in here right now. YYZ or something. I think Ray maybe is going to volunteer. He might could start calling it. And if I could get someone to call a net, I wouldn't mind checking in. It's just I can't spend all the time prior to the show. So. And guys, if you
were saying that after the net, you're basically off on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Is that correct? Before you start the new week for the next show, is that how you normally work it?
Yeah. The Wednesday is my Friday. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and by the weekend I'm having to try to plan something for the next week. But hey, just in case we got any DMR people out there, our show has a DMR talk group, 31693. It's not being used. It's Amateur Radio Roundtable Talk Group, 31693. And it'd be cool to get a group and start using it, man. You got to start using it, 31693. But the thing about DMR is if you can't get the first couple people when they're talking, there's nobody to talk to on there. So if anybody out there is interested, and especially you new guys that are just coming in, tech license and are really deep into digital stuff, and you like all these hot spots and all this kind of stuff that I don't know nothing about, man, you could call a DMR net for us.
I'm going to jump out, Tom.
Okay, man, it's good to see you, Doc, and man, glad you joined us tonight.
Yeah, I'll get on more often.
All right, man. We appreciate it.
73.
All right, 73.
Thanks, Don. Good to see you.
Me too here. I will be leaving now. Saludos to everybody.
All right, Charlie. 73, Charlie. I know it's getting close to midnight there.
Yeah, exactly. So I have to leave.
See you later.
Thank you, and see you Tuesday.
Okay. Good night.
See ya.
So.
Well, we've got about 10 minutes left on our slot here, our shortwave radio slot. Hey, everybody, you're listening to After the Show. This is actually a sub show of Amateur Radio Roundtable, but this is the official After the Show where we just talk about anything and invite you to join us. So if you're out there listening on WBCQ tonight, we'd love to hear from you. Send us an email to tom@w5kub.com and let us know where you are and how you're receiving the station. I'll occasionally come in here. Our audio show is on Thursdays. We've got a 2-hour slot on Thursdays from 5 to 7 p.m. Eastern Time on 7490. And that's when our audio portion of this show is on. And occasionally I'll tune in, Glenn, and listen to me, listen to you on shortwave, man. It's kind of cool. Neat there. So, hey, you can find us on shortwave. You can find us here on YouTube. All of our shows are recorded. Even the After the Show is recorded. You can find all of these on YouTube under our W5KUB channel. Also, a lot of people may not know it, but we're covered just about on every podcast carrier there is out there. if you want to just listen to the show anytime, you can listen to it, or you can download it on just about anything from iTunes to Google Play to any of the podcast carriers out there carry our show. So there's a lot of ways. Join our Facebook group. 12,000 people in our hams in our Facebook group. I would love to have you there. And of course, remember our website is w5kub.com, w5kub.com, or ham-tv.com, ham-tv.com. You can find us, and that's our website. If you're interested in our balloons, there's a balloon page that gives you a lot of detail, and it helps you track the balloons and see where they are. In fact, I need to look real quick and see where the balloon is. We've been on here, a couple, almost 2 hours now. Just updated, so let's look and see where it is. Let's just look.
Due north of Wuhan.
Are we north of Wuhan now? Let me see if I can. Let's see if I can get a better picture here.
So about 200 kilometers north.
So we're good altitude. It's been rock solid, 41,141 feet. We're moving 74 miles an hour, so that's good. We've been stuck in the 30 miles an hour for a couple of days. So we're starting to hit that high-speed wind there. And once we get out over the water there, the speeds are, the jet stream's up in the 140 to 160. Let's see where Wuhan, oh man, look, we are close to, we're right above Wuhan here. Yeah, we're right above it. So I need to turn off all those little things. But yep, and we're doing really good. 74 miles an hour, a course of 96 degrees at 41,141. And Bill, I don't know what's wrong, why it won't read voltage right. We're stuck on 3.4 volts. I know when I run it on a power supply, the voltage varies, but it seems like when I get on solar panels, the voltage don't want to vary. What do you think, Bill? What causes that?
The A to D is probably suffering from the temperature. A lot of A to Ds in the early days, back in the late 70s, had this issue with monotonicity, which would mean shifting bits. They really didn't do well with cold, and they wouldn't properly calculate the bits for the digital conversion.
That may be it. Hey, Bill.
The other thing is, Tom, your solar panels are going to be more efficient in the cold temperatures than they are in the surface level. So you're already up near the top end of your A to D converter. And looking at the JT9 data, which I also have a field there that shows the raw A to D value, it's pegged.
Oh, really?
1023. So, you can't go any higher. So
I wonder what voltage. I wonder what voltage that is. Let's see. I've got 6 cells. I got 6 cells. Hopefully, that's not over about 3.7.
Well, 3.7 is more than your A to D converter that's pegged out. So and I don't think when they start going out at the end of the day or as the first transmission, it's 10 minutes per transmission. You probably don't see it starting to decrease in value.
Maybe.
In other words, you're probably all above the 3.7 volt limit or 3.6, wherever that peak is. It doesn't give you much chance to get below it.
All right, hey,
but I've noticed that the last 2 flights you've been just pegged out.
Hey, Bill, did you see?
Good. I mean, it's good solar panel voltage. That's a good thing.
So, Bill, did you see the Facebook Messenger I sent you tonight? I'm wanting to try. I want to make a change on the tracker board.
Yeah, Michael BSS, he does that with I think 3 output pins.
Okay.
That removes. He uses the A to D inputs as an output, and he parallels 3 of them to drive everything.
Well, I'm just wondering. Okay, so that output is actually just the enable, the one we've got coming out of there. It enables that.
No, this is actually supplying.
No, I know. He's doing that, but I'm saying on the one we're flying right now, that's just an enable that flips that high side switch on and off. So
that's right.
So I don't know how much current. I don't know how much current's there, and that obviously I don't know anything. And here's where Glenn.
Well, I wouldn't. I personally don't like to run more than 20 milliamps per pin, and I'm sure Glenn has an opinion.
Yeah, that's where I want to get Glenn involved. So that's an output. That's an output pin. That's an output pin on the Arduino.
An output pin. I wouldn't. I guess we're getting 3.3 volts output. I don't know how many milliamps, but that's out one pin. I think it's pin 2. So let me ask you a question. I would think, and here's where I'm really don't know nothing about coding, but I know you've got a line of code that says send this out on this pin. Is it simple? Is it fairly simple just to add 2 more pins to that same line and say send this out on pin 2, pin? Pins, just boom, 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 and you can turn them on. But I'm not a big fan of paralleling pins off of a microcontroller to actually power things.
What are you trying to accomplish?
So Glenn, what I've got, the oscillator and the transmitter. VCC goes to them through a little solid state switch. It's basically a MOSFET transistor.
A high side MOSFET.
Yeah. So the Arduino, I think it's pin 2. The Arduino just sends an enable out, a high. When it goes high, it turns that little chip on that lets 3 volts go through that chip, and it powers the TCXO and the SI5351, the transmitter. So what I'm trying to do is eliminate that high side switch, and where this enable pin comes out, that's 3 volts coming out. If I just had enough current, I could eliminate the high side switch. So if I could parallel 3 outputs on the Arduino chip,
why don't you just go simpler than that? Why don't you use one output with a transistor?
Well, that's basically what this thing is. That's basically
going to be your most efficient and easy method.
Well, but right now the little chip that's there. The little chip there is basically a MOSFET transistor, but it's either a 5 or 6 pin. It's a 6-pin chip, okay?
And that's a 3-pin bipolar.
Well, I could put a 3-pin MOSFET on that pad there and just hook 3 leads up, So in other words, there's 6 pins on that little chip. Now the problem is that chip's about the size of a gnat, and it's got 6 legs on it.
Yeah.
And the smallest soldering iron you can get is about as wide as 3 of those legs, plus the 2 of those pins on that board are ground planes, which means you almost never get enough heat to even solder that sucker on. So I could take
The high side switch I use is much easier to solder, and it does the exact same thing.
Yeah.
That would be your easy solution.
Yeah,
what you need to do is to parallel outputs to get more current capability. Which
I don't recommend doing that because they're not going to be exact. There's going to be an imbalance.
You could, you could get into a lockup condition.
All right. Okay. Yeah. Well, you talked me out of it. So on that little chip, it's a 6-pin, and pin 1 is the voltage output, and then pins 2 and 3 go to ground. 4 is the VCC into the chip. 5 is ground, and 6 is the enable. And you put a high on 6, and that VCC voltage just goes right through it. So I can use a transistor. I can use the enable and the voltage in and the voltage out. I mean, it's the same thing. And I could take a transistor. I could take a MOSFET transistor, actually turn it upside down, and the 3 pins will actually line up to the enable and a voltage in and a voltage out.
I would use a 2N7002, which is the surface mount version of a 2N7000.
Yeah.
And then you don't have much in the way of any voltage drop
Yeah.
through the MOSFET.
Well,
But,
that way I don't even have to worry about soldering.
Which I have
Yeah.
is 4 pins, but they're easy to solder. I can give you the part number for that too. Then it's worked beautifully for me.
But I have to change the board up for that. I mean, it wouldn't be easy.
I've seen people use multiple pins to power things, or just one pin to power something like that. I mean, it's just like powering an LED. But if you get into some, too much current, and you could lock up the processor and wreck that pin output. That's a risk. It's I know people do it, but I just not.
I've never been a fan of using a pin to power stuff, even though
LED.
Yeah, even though the 328 is 40 mils a pin.
Well, see, the entire current of this tracker, the entire current of this tracker is about 40 mils.
Yeah.
Right. That's risky because, particularly if you're tying all pins together to get that extra current, that sounds risky to me as well. So,
maybe use diodes. Hey, maybe we use diodes and isolate the 3 pins.
Well, then now you've got 3 parts instead of 1.
I know.
Now you're adding weight and more soldering.
Well, you're not adding much, I'm tell you, man.
But that's how you would want to do it. Yes, you'd have to have 3.
I'm thinking, and I'll probably just go.
Diode.
I'll probably just go with a transistor, and that way I don't even have to worry about soldering the 3 pins on the ground plane. You don't even have to do that. Oh man.
There's 1.
All right, hey guys, our time is up. We're off the radio. We're off the air now, so I'm gonna stick around another minute or two.
The technical term for that is a latch-up condition.
Yeah, I have never been a fan of using an I/O pin to power something. I would prefer to drive a transistor and have that transistor power things.
Well, and that chip is
do it with an LED, but it only draws 2 milliamps, and you got a blocking resistor on it.
Well, yeah. I mean,
and
that's not really powering.
That high side chip, which again is the size of a gnat, and it's got 6 legs on it, and each leg is about 1/1,000,000th of an inch from the next leg. Basically all it is a MOSFET transistor. I don't know why they put 6 legs on it, to tell you the truth.
It's probably just the way the die is put together.
Somebody just said, hey, let's make a 6-legged chip that's the size of a gnat, and we'll sell that. And
let's make your soldering a pain in the butt.
Yeah.
But let's put it this way. I've been doing.
Had that form.
What was that?
Probably had that form laying about from another chip that they had designed. So let's use that one.
I've been doing research almost all week on low power scenarios because the Raspberry Pi Pico has a max of 50 mils for the total I/O power on 25 pins. So you're going to have to. Everything is going to have some form of external drive, like a transistor.
And on the 328P, I know it's a 40 milliamp max. Is that per bank, or is that per pin? I mean, you can't draw 40 mils on each pin.
That's technically 40 mils per pin, but there's an upper total limit.
That's right.
But even at altitude and cold weather, I wouldn't want to push it to 40 mils. I'm like you; I'd stick it to 20 and pray.
Yeah.
Because at those temperatures, nothing plays by the laws of physics. At least in my opinion. But that's what I've been doing all week, is looking at the Pico, and it's like how am I going to deal with this current scenario of 50 mils total for the entire chip and 25 pins? That says I can have 2 mils a pin if I'm using them all and having them all on. So you gotta really balance it. But the flip side of it is, I just found out today, the Python on that beast is dual threaded because it's got 2 cores in the CPU. But while Python itself is multi-threaded, the Python for the Pico, it doesn't have the processing switching ability, so it will do, one core and the other, and you can at least have 2 threads running simultaneously. So that opens up a whole new world of things to do.
Tom, I'll send you a link to the high-side switch I use that has got easy to solder leads to it. And it's a pretty small little chip, but it's easy to solder.
I doubt I would use it, Bill. I'll just put
it's a 4-leg chip.
Yep.
It's got 3. Well, actually, 1, 2. One's next to 5 pins, but power, ground, enable, and output.
Yeah. So why wouldn't I just use a MOSFET transistor? I mean,
you could.
See, I can take a little MOSFET I've got, and to make it fit the enable, the VCC in, VCC out, and the enable pins, those 3 pins on the board, I can take a MOSFET transistor and turn it upside down and lay it on there, and I can match the pins up. I can match the.
But is it a P channel or an N channel?
It's a P channel. It'd be a P channel.
Okay.
It's a P channel. Yeah.
Using it to turn on a ground is easy, but a high side is a little more tricky.
Well, let me think about that.
I don't play with MOSFETs yet.
I haven't done it yet, so I'll have to.
That's where the high side switch comes in. There's some more control logic in there.
Yeah.
Doing turning on the VCC through a P channel, you have to have one that is capable of a logic level, because your gate has to be high enough to turn it on, and there's a charge pump involved to make sure that's high enough when you're using it as a supply current. So
I'll have to look into it and try it. I'll have to experiment with it. Maybe it takes the N channel. I thought a P.
I mean, what people do when they use a P channel for the high side, turning on the VCC, sometimes they'll need a charge pump on the gate voltage to get it high enough. But I think it's set up as a logic level in that chip on those high side switches. They just make it easier. Does that sound about right, Glenn?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if I can keep it.
If you use just a standard transistor, a bipolar transistor, you've got a voltage loss.
Right.
Much more than a FET. You still have a voltage loss through the FET, but at the current levels that you're talking, it won't be much, but it might be substantial on a standard bipolar transistor.
Well, I'll have to give it a try. My goal is to keep reducing parts out of the tracker. If I can get the tracker down to 2 parts total, and nothing small, then hey, that's where we're going to go. I mean,
well, some of those parts are necessary.
Hey, this thing's got very few parts in it. Very few. I honestly think, I bet you I could take. This thing only has like 8. It's got 18 parts. That tracker has 18 parts on it. I bet you I could take 6 of them off and it would still work. Yeah. Oh, well.
I'm a big fan of bypass capacitors particularly for an RF circuit. And there's a number of them missing on some of those designs.
Yeah, yeah. Man, I got
be aware.
What?
Just be aware that could cause issues.
Yeah.
You start removing those kind of things.
I got I got the itch again this week to try to build a homemade balloon. I don't know why I keep wanting to go back to that. I was looking for my net material.
Well, you found a pretty good one.
Yeah, we found a good one, but hey, if I can fly 65, I'd rather fly 65, but you know.
Hey, did you sign off from WBCQ?
Yeah, we're off. Well, they cut us off after 2 hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Tom and Bill, I got a question to ask you.
Go ahead.
It's regarding operating Whisper can you use HRD, WSJ, XT, and Grid Tracker to track your balloons?
Well,
the radio to the frequency?
Well, here's the thing. If you WSJT-X, it has various programs in it, and it's got Whisper in it. And if the balloon is in range, you will pick it up, and you will you'll pick it up, and you'll see a line of data across there that you picked it up at this time, and so forth. And if you click on the map, it will show you a map and put it on there, but it's only going to show you within 200 miles, a box 200 miles square where it is. Your best...
About 63 by 113 miles.
Oh, is that what it is? 63 by 113. So it's a big area.
Well, it depends what latitude you're at, but that's rough.
So you're better off, if you want to track it, you're better off just to go to APRS on the internet and pull it up and watch it. And
there's a website, tracker.habhub.org, that shows all the balloons flying with ham radio, and some of them with LoRa now. But anyways, it's tracker.habhub, which is Hotel Alpha Bravo, Hotel United Bravo.org.
Well, and let me show you.
That shows all the ham radio balloons up in the air.
Let me show you something here. Let's see.
I also know that if you go to your webpage, you can also track it from there by clicking on the balloon tab, correct?
If you go to the balloon tab, you've got HabHub that Bill just explained. In fact, that map is embedded on my page, so you can just see it. The map, the moving map, is already there. So if you go to my page, you can click on HabHub and track it. Click on APRS and track it. Click on Whisper and get the data, or you can see it on HabHub. It's all right together in one spot. You don't have to remember addresses or anything, which makes it real easy. Or you can just go directly to like tracker.habhub.org, and then you'll have to put in W5 KUB-110 and go through all that to pull it up. But if you just click on the links that I've got on the web page, it does all that automatically for you. Now, if you run Whisper, if it's in range, it's just like a 20-meter signal. You know, you don't hear people. You don't hear people in Germany or whatever talking, all the time on your radio because the propagation's not there. So you're only going to hear it on Whisper when it's within range and the propagation is good. So, a lot of people do it just for the fun to say, I picked it up, but it doesn't really show them much.
Well, it's not like operating phone. You're operating like similar to how you're operating FT4 and FT8. You're getting digital signals. But the other question that I have is, can you only receive the balloon, or can you transmit to the balloon as well?
No, you're only going to receive. You're only going to receive. And you got to remember too, we're running 10 milliwatts, and in that whispered band pass there's probably 1,000 people out there transmitting on those same frequencies. Probably 1,000 people out there. So the chances are you picking it up. You might be able. A lot of people pick it up and can get it. But the nice thing about it is we've got people all over the world that are monitoring Whisper Therefore, people in England are going to pick it up, or Belgium are going to pick it up, where we won't even hear it. And all the different people pick it up, and they post it to Whisper, and that's where we get the data. All right, guys, let's get. Yeah, what was that?
If I'm hearing the signal from the balloon, is it going to give me the call sign, knowing that I'm actually receiving that signal from your balloon, or not?
It will Whisper. It's digital. Whisper will give you a printout, and it'll say. Well, it'll give the call letters, and it'll give you a lot of information. So I'm going to pull it up on the website here. I'm going to pull it up on the website real quick. So if I go to the balloon and I scroll down, I can click on W5KUB Whisper data right here. If I click on that, it's going to give me a printout right there. It's going to give me the date, the time, the call, W5KUB, the frequency, the signal to noise, the 4-digit grid square, and it's going to tell me who picked it up. It's just a long list of, if you can see that, Anthony, that's what you'll see. Every 10 minutes, you'll see people picking it up right there. And if you go to the map, let me click on map up here at the top. It's going to bring the map up. Now, you see right there, if you can see it, that's thousands of people on Whisper right now. And you can go down here and you can select 20 meters only. And you can put the call in, W5KUB. And right now, on Whisper, only one station is picking it up on Whisper, and that's a guy in Japan, JS6UGC. Only one person is picking the balloon's that last transmission up. So without him, we wouldn't know where it is. Now, normally, that's pretty rare. Normally, at least 3 or 4 or 5 are picking it up, but many times we've got, there may be 20 or 30 people picking it up.
So with that said, if you were setting up a new balloon before you're launching, you had it hanging up in a tree outside your house and making sure everything works, and you had it transmitting, I can get on Whisper and look for it and see if I can find it from your house and see if I can hear the signal, correct?
Yeah, and you wouldn't even have to tune around and look for it. You just set your Whisper for 20 meters. There's a standard Whisper spot. So you just set it for 20 meters, Whisper, and it's going to listen. It may hear me, it may not hear me. Like I said, it's going to be competing with probably hundreds and hundreds of stations on that same frequency. We're running 10 milliwatts. You may not hear it. A guy in St. Louis may hear it. A guy in Paducah, Kentucky may hear it. You may not hear it.
Well, I just have to give it a try and see, because I know when I'm operating FT4, FT8 is what I want to do, 30, 40, 20, whatever. I know it's going to tune, it's going to default to the frequency for FT4, FT8. So I would imagine that the program is going to do the same thing for Whisper.
It does. It picks the frequency for Whisper. All right, guys, it's late. I need to get out of here and go and get me some popcorn or something. It's my Friday night, so tomorrow is kind of like Saturday for me. I don't have to do anything for the show for a couple more days. So thanks, everybody, for joining us tonight. I really, really appreciate you being with us. Thanks to everybody in the chat room, by the way. We still got a few people in there in the chat room and hung in there with us.
Tom, did you get any storm damage from last night's storms or this morning?
No, we had some thunder and some rain this morning, but that's all we had. This is the first.
The big storms that went through over the weekend.
Yeah.
When was that?
Every week we had one come through, except this week, nothing this week.
No, the last storm that you had, when was that? Where you had to turn your generator on?
Man, I don't remember. Glenn, when was it? Well, that was the ice storm, I think.
No, just
No,
recently.
we had the really nasty front come through.
Oh, that's right.
That's
Yeah.
It was like last Wednesday,
I
Thursday.
can't, guys. I can't even remember anymore.
I lost 18 shingles off my roof during that storm. We had 80-mile-an-hour winds up here in the mountain.
Yeah, we were supposed to have 60 to 70-mile-an-hour winds. I don't think it ever got quite that high here.
But it
most of it passed south of us.
It ripped a good chunk of my roof off.
Yeah.
I just got it, and it was leaking onto the kitchen table.
Well, that's not good.
Fun.
All
right, well, I got to run, guys.
Yep. Bill, you have experience from Hera Arena. You just set you up a tent inside your dining room.
You know, they had the buckets, the big trash cans there near the dining room area, and those were always fascinating. It was like one of those tropical paradise restaurants with the waterfalls coming down.
Yeah.
The Hera roof leaking into a trash can, or the ambiance, but it was still pretty.
No,
I still miss those
didn't
days.
match the paradise ones, though.
Yeah. Hey, I've got a.
We'll see you next week.
Okay, we'll see. I've got a special. I've got a special tarp here that. It's a yellow, really heavy duty tarp. I'm guessing it's probably 20 by 20, and right in the center it has a hose connection on it. Where you could screw a garden hose on it. So you can take that 20 by 20 and just put it in your dining room there. Put it in all four corners and
run drain out the window. Yeah.
Run the hose out the window. I've never had to use it. It's still all packaged up there.
Well, I got the roof repaired. I had my roof guy come out and took 18 shingles.
Yeah.
They were all over the front yard.
Yeah. All right. Well, good night, everybody. What? You what?
All right. See y'all later.
Yep. We'll see you. Good night, everybody. Thanks, everybody, for joining us.
Take it easy.
Tim
Tim
Conway, 73 to Tim Conway out there. Tim, you were quiet tonight, but man, thanks for joining us, Tim. Look forward to seeing you every week there, and we'll see all you guys later there. All right, we're going to close down, and I'm going to get me some popcorn or something, get me a snack, maybe watch a little TV, maybe find an old sitcom or something on, have some fun, enjoy it. And we will see you guys next week. 73 to everybody.